Okay, let's take a look at the Luminosity channels, and if we go to the channels folder right here, and let's open that up, and here you go. And one thing we're going to start with too is make sure that you're on your channels tab here. There's histogram, navigator, channels, and that's just so you can see what's happening when we do hit this first action, and this is going to load all our Luminosity channels. So let's go ahead and do that. And it just builds all the channels right here. So you got lights, darks, and midtones, and you can see the different variations of each. And what it's doing is each one, like for instance this lights one, you can see that there's wherever it's white, that's what's going to be showing through. Wherever it's dark, that's going to be concealing. So you can go through and find the one that you want to use for your photo, and to use that you can actually just hit let's say if I look at this one, lights 3 here, because I just want to control just the waterfall here. So I'm going to hover over and hit Command click, and that sort of loads it. So you can see the marching ants here. It's sort of loaded, ready to go, and then you can go to your adjustments and you can select whatever you want to adjust. So right now for the demo, I am going to hit the curves because that pretty much covers everything. And I'm going to make this a little bigger and go here. And for instance, now we've got that channel loaded, and you can see that essentially just controls the highlights. And that's again using that mask where you can just see the white part of that mask, and that's the only part that's being controlled. And you can do that with any of the actions. So again, it's just basically hovering over whatever channel you want to use. So if you want to control the darks, and again, the lights, or where the white is, that's where you're going to be controlling. Midtones, this is sort of the in-between between your light and darks, and that sort of, you get some cool effects with that too. If you're done with the channels and you don't want them anymore, you can go to the Done Clear Channels, play that action, and you can see it clears it out. And what we have here is some other actions, but these ones are built off of these channels, and I'll just show you what happens if you try to use it without having your channels loaded. So let's say you want to hit this Use Set Highlights, and you go to play. You're going to say the command set is not currently available. So if you go to continue, it's going to go through this whole process, so you might as well just stop it there, and it just sort of builds this weird thing that you don't want, and then you have to close that out. So in order to use these channels and these actions that are built off the channels, you just want to hit start and load your channels, and always make sure those are loaded first. And you can see it's got them loaded, it doesn't do anything else but that. So now when I go to Use Set Highlights, and I'll explain this action in a second, you hit play, and there you go. It's already done a very minute change, but when you go into this action, you've got everything loaded in here, all your adjustments, so you can go in this way. So if you wanted to just control the brights that way, you can do it here, or go into levels and change the levels, or curves, change the curve that way, do whatever you want with that. So these are the Use Set actions, so you open that up and you set it yourself. And then we've got some basics where it's brighten lights, highlights, darks, midtones, going through dark, contrast, intensify, and vibrance. So that gets you started with the Luminosity channels. And whenever you're done, again, you can just go Done, Clear Channels. You hit that and play, and you're done.